Pimping Ken, I got the Hip-Hop Society, I got Big James, you know what I mean? He gonna tell you about what they got going on. He came all the way to New York, do the Breakfast Club and all that. Cause they the people, so we show y'all what it look like.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Ken Ivy, man, CEO. I mean, not CEO, former CEO, chairman of the Hip-Hop Fraternity, also the founder. I got the crew with me, the whole Hip-Hop Fraternity. We're going to start from my man Gonzalez, and we're going to work our way on over. Dave, let them know who you is, brother, and what you represent.
Hey, how you doing? This is Dave G, the iconic lifestyle designer for that #1 lifestyle brand, Boss Man and Champion status. I'm overseeing the Hip-Hop Fraternity apparel division, so we're doing our own full line collection, so from fall, spring, winter, all the garments, leather, etc., etc. Shoe line coming out soon as well.
Who's up next? Who's up next?
Hey, it's your homeboy DJ16,
Woo!
HHF Milwaukee CEO, Madison CEO. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? The place and the HHF National DJ. So make sure y'all tap in HHF Radio. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
All right, who's next? Who's next? Let's roll.
Bow, bow, Mike Fresh in the building. I'm talking about HHL Forward Division is going down, man.
All right.
All right, James C.B. Gray, HHF CEO and national spokesperson, representing. It's happy to be here, Mecca. Thanks for having us.
Man, it's a pleasure having y'all, man. We get ready to turn this thing out because Pimping Ken was just talking real slick. He been talking real slick, so I'm going to turn this up because we're going to see how slick his tongue is, how fly his game is. All right, we're going to go head to head. I mess with this dude here. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. All right, yo, we got the well-famous Pimping Ken in here, man, all the way from Chicago. I mean, it's a pleasure because I see him talking a lot of crap. I'm going to say a lot of crap, you know, up there on YouTube, and it sounds real player, and I got to give him his props, man. I got to give him his props because when I was in the joint, everybody read that book. I was out west in Lum Park. Everybody read that Pimpology. If you ain't read that Pimpology, you better go get that. All the youngies was in there reading it, and that's how I got hip to it. You know what I mean? Because he's from the Midwest. I'm all the way from the East. But they said, man, they come to me to get a letter written. They say, man, you know, what you gonna do? Use a draft from, Pimpology? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't need no draft. You know, like, yo, he the man, he the man. Yo, it's an honor to have you here, man. Can we get a round of applause for the big bro one time, man? You got South the round of applause.
All I'm doing, I'm shooting at niggas, man.
You know what I mean?
I'm popping. I'm from the
This how we
hill.
do
I'm
it.
popping.
All right, tell somebody, so where you from, man? Where you from, and, you know, let's know something about your childhood. How many brothers, sisters? Let us know something about Pimping Ken.
Well, I was born in Chicago, Cook County Hospital. You know, I spent a lot of my youth at Robert Taylor Projects, one of the most notorious projects in Chicago. You know, my family, my entire family, been kind of like spearheading the game over there. You know, my cousin Ike Taylor, he wrote the new concept with Larry Hoover. My other cousins, they vice lords. You know, so I got cousins that's kings and the vice lords, and brothers that's generals and major lieutenants and the gangster disciples. So I kind of lived on both sides of the aisles. You know, we'd be over one cousin house, my auntie Charlotte house. They doing something. My cousin Danny down, they throwing up forks. The other they throwing up the fire. You know, so it was kind of weird. You know, we being growing up like that. And then, you know, when I was 14, I caught attempted murder in Chicago. My brother pushed somebody over into the L. And in Chicago, they got what we call a third rail. So if you hit 3 rails, you die. So, you know, because he did that, we both went to the Cook County Jail. We were the youngest dudes in the Cook County Jail, 14. You know, but we was players, though. My daddy was players. My uncles was players. You know, we grew up in the game. So a lot of them niggas respected us in there, you know, and we didn't have to join no game or nothing. You know, Finney, he was a gangster disciple, my man. Now, Black was a gangster, Finney was L. Rookin'. So they just like, anytime they get drunk, they'd be like, man, y'all little niggas get on out the way. You know, so that was, man, God, because, you know, usually when you go there, they eat you up like Scooby snacks. You know, I seen a lot of brothers get violated and get disrespected. Brothers coming there false flagging, you know, gang banging, you know, you had the like King Spanish Cobras, you know, insane gangsters, you know, all kind of stuff, man. I just grew up. And the crazy thing about it, man, you know, was, you know, right after I got out of there, you know, I thought my mama moved us to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I called another case, called a fraud case, check cashing. You know, I didn't know how to cash checks. I just tried it and they caught me up. And so I ended up going to Wales. So I was, kind of basically in and out of jail between Chicago and Milwaukee. But, Chicago was a great lesson for me because it was more hardcore. Another reason why we left the Black Panthers, they was real big at the time. They beat my daddy up, real bad, almost killed him, because they called him cheating in dice, it's crooked dice. So those are two reasons why we got up out of Chicago. Black Panthers, the thing was so crazy, Fred Hampton, he's the now new leader of the Black Panthers Cubs. He came to our HHF meeting, Hip-Hop Fraternity meeting in Atlanta, Georgia, to our headquarters. So, I told him, I said, your motherfucking brothers beat my daddy up, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, no, let me HHF niggas, we can get you. Nah, I'm just fucking around. But, yeah, man. Yeah, man, shout outs to the Black Panthers, shout out to Huey Newton.
Was you in the Black Panthers or any gang back then? Because you said something.
No, I never joined the game because I was cool. My cousins was GDs, my other cousin was Vice Lord. So every time I got in trouble, got into some niggas, if it was on the Vice Lord side, I go call my Vice Lord cousins, they'll whoop them niggas. Or I call my GD cousins, and they go whoop the niggas. So, I was spared to have to pay what they call the PO box. They got the PO box in Chicago. I mean, you got to sell dope or do something and pay. You got to pay that, pay that fee right. Back then, that's how it was. They had extortion. They used to extort the local stores and stuff like that. But now I was fortunate, man, to not to have to join. Even in Milwaukee, my niggas is East Side gangsters. We, me and my partner, we had we kind of controlled that shit. We had a lot of money back then. Make sure all of them at least eat. You know what I'm saying? So they all respected us. And I told them the same thing, man. I'm not interested in joining, but I'm affiliate, so I was affiliate with the East Side Gangsters. I've been in a lot of shootouts with them niggas, and, we had a lot of drama. I rolled with them, but, that was because we was on that block, but I never joined no gang. And my partner ran all that shit, you know what I'm saying? He would always be like, man, woo-woo, and blah, blah, blah. And another reason why I didn't join, because I was just getting out the feds. I just got to doing the federal bit for bank robbery. I come home, one of the little homies got out of pocket with me, and when he get out of pocket with me, I called my East Side niggas just to say, man, this nigga tripping. Man, them niggas pulled up with shotguns, Uzis, and drops and Benzes and shit. And I'm like, man, I'm on federal paper. I'm like, man, I don't know drama with these niggas, man. I was like, I ain't never called them niggas again. So I was done with that shit. I was like, man, nah. But, we got money together, though. And, the little niggas was always there for me if I had a problem. But I never joined the gang. But, I always been, like you say, in the hood. I always been good. Niggas, all the killers, all the robbers, all the gangsters, all the niggas respect me. I did a couple little crazy things, too. I don't care to mention, but, I did a few wild things. I kind of got my respect. On my own, without a gang, I put a lot of pressure on niggas too, and got my respect. So, my man Gonzalez, niggas from Milwaukee, I used to handle my business real well. So, but they ain't nothing I'm proud of. They ain't nothing I want to promote to the kids. But
no, it's not about promoting to the kids.
Yeah.
It's just for them to know that you've been through it and you qualified. Because I run a gangster channel.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I talk to gangsters.
Well, all the
Pimps and
gangsters
plays.
know me. All the New York gangsters,
And that's
Detroit,
what I'm
Chicago,
saying.
yeah,
But
they all
have
fuck
to
with me.
know our background so they know that we qualified and we ain't just lip professing and they live it. Because they see you in a three-piece suit and a nice tie and the diamonds on the joint, you look like $1 million. You know what I mean? But they think, oh, he old, he don't know what he's talking about. That's what they say by the look, because they want to see you look like them with a white beat and a big chain on and pants sagging. Now they gonna listen if you driving a Bentley or something nice.
It go back to what you were saying, Unique. When you was in the penitentiary, all them young niggas was fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? These young niggas are always fucking with me. I got 10,000 members. Most of them gang bangers and killers and gangsters. I'm one of the few niggas, that they listen to. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm really strong in the streets. Like I said, when I go to my hood, the only security I have is my Social Security card. I don't need no security. You know what I'm saying? And I walk around Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn. Niggas know me. What up, OG? What up, Pimping Ken? It's nothing but love and respect.
Saying, but that's because you kept it 100 at all times.
Absolutely.
You didn't waver and get into the entertainment side of pimping. You know what I mean? That came in. I seen in the 2000s. They had pimps with the rappers and to me, they was disrespecting the pimps. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep it 100. You know what I mean? I'm even gonna say the kid Magic Don Juan. You know, no disrespect to him. I'm just speaking gangster to gangster.
Right.
I looked at him like a bona fide pimp. We looked up to pimps growing up, cause I came up in the '80s, was born in the '60s.
Right.
So when I was a kid going into teenagehood, pimps and players and Max, you know what I mean, is what I first learned about. You know, and they looked up to a pimp as a serious character, and he know how to get the women
Well,
with the gift of gab.
We know, brother, Unique. The pimp game, right, is the most elite game in all gangs, right? Because it's the only game where you don't actually commit a crime. The bitch commit the crime. We call it the ING. ING means I'm not going, send the bitch, right? So, you know, we sending the bitches, you know. And a lot of niggas, you know, they get this false notion that a lot of niggas is soft. I told nigga, I said, nigga, I went from the gangster, I had the G before I had the P. I dropped the G and picked up the P, but when I got G, I put the G in the bitch, you know what I'm saying? So the bitch was gangster too about getting my money. You know what I'm saying? The way I was getting money, the bitch had to get money how I was, because bitch, that's the only way I can have you, is you got to be at the top what I was doing in these streets, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting it, you know, like a mad Russian, so the hoes had to be getting it like a mad Russian too. And you know, you could just tell from my lifestyle, the mink coats, the diamonds, you know, and the shit like that, you know. And Bishop Don Juan, you know, he's from Chicago, you know, we respect him, you know, but he showed us that, you know, everybody loves a pimp, you know. I think that that's what Bishop represents. He represents that side of the game, you know, like, you know, the retired, you know, man, I pimped, I done did all this, and now it's time for me to make a transition. And he inspired me to make transition and get into the business world too. So a lot of times, when I look at them type of brothers, man, of course, they ain't gonna be on the unique level, you know, they ain't gonna be on your level, because, you know, you was out here doing the most, you know what I mean? If you a gangster, you from a gangster town, you from New York, so, you know, your principles is a little bit different than the principles of niggas like, you know, over there in the Midwest. You know, Midwest niggas, you know, they tend to, you know, kind of, you know, have a little fun and venture off a little bit. But at the same time, you know, they still put in that work. They still solid niggas. So I look at Bishop as a solid nigga. You know, I look at all the niggas in Chicago as solid niggas. You know, them niggas, you know, they brought another element to the game, and they taught me some games. So, you know, I respect Bishop Don Juan, Reverend Simo, and I think that all of our young people should respect him as well.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I like the way you did that, because, like I said, I'm not disrespecting them. You know, like I said, I run a gangster channel.
Right.
You know what I mean? I speak it like it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We looked up to pimps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, us that was, you know, into the cocaine era as far as sniffing cocaine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the early 80s, late
Yeah, I
70s,
know,
we looked
yeah.
up to pimps. Pimps was our heroes. Pimps, number runners. You know what I mean? They don't even know what a number runner is. They don't know what Big Blue is, you know, Big Red in New York. These are number runners. This is how they made money. These was our, you know, hood Robin Hoods. They gave jobs. You know what I mean? They get you a brand new Toyota for $15,000, and you just got to go pick up the bets. You know what I mean? Or, you know, in one area in Queens, and get another person another car. They go pick it up. These was our Robin Hoods. They gave jobs. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they was players, you know what I'm saying? They were looking out for the young niggas and giving young niggas what we call, you know, a handout, you know, so niggas can, you know, get, you know, I always tell niggas this. I said, nigga, if you look at the streets, you go to Unique might front you 2 keys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a hell of a thing. If you go to the bank and you get a loan for $50,000, $100,000, they front you too. You know what I'm saying? We just got to change our mentality. We change our mentality, we change our reality. You know, so every time you see these white folks, you see these motherfuckers with these big old houses, big old mansions, driving these slick cars, first thing we say is, God damn, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? How these folks getting this shit? Well, they don't have a Unique, they have a Chase Bank. They have a U.S. Bank. They fronting them money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so a lot of niggas, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to teach them better ways and brighter days. We got to show niggas other ways to get money. Show niggas like, look, man, you know what I mean? Get your credit right, homie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do other things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, invest your business. You know, get a channel like Unique, a gangster channel, and start generating and bringing in that paper. And I think that that's where we at as OGs. Is, you know what I'm saying? We got to leave a legacy, because even the can of beans got an expiration date.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, I bring that up because everyone looks up to somebody from every generation. You know what I mean? So the pimps, the Macs, the players, the number runners, they went out, and then you have new things that led all the way up to the scammers.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been
Right.
going 26 years. I mentioned to the homies that's locked up. I got homies been down 30 years, 40 years, 50 years that call me on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And if I say, yeah, dude got busted for scamming, he gonna ask, what's that?
Well, you know, I mean, you know, back in our day, man, you know, I mean, you about the same age. You know, motherfuckers had they had typewriters. Now motherfuckers got smartphones. Dumb motherfuckers with smartphones. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to realize, man, that everything evolved. That's what Darwin is talking about, evolution. So shit don't just stay the same. You know, like, I was like, man, Ken, these niggas ain't pimping like, I said, I know they ain't pimping like they, these niggas got OnlyFans, they got this shit, they got that shit, they got all this other shit that we didn't have. So they naturally get more money than we got. The nigga Sauce Walker just made a $500,000, $1 million or whatever. You know, bitch showing feet. Man, shit, you know, I'm getting maybe $1,000, $2,000 out of a bitch. You know, that means I got to work 20 times harder as him to get the money that he getting off in a week on the internet. But you got to respect that, though. Just like, you know, this platform we on. This shit wasn't around when we was kids. You know what I'm saying? But we exercised and we used it. So we got to respect the new era. You know, let them do their thing and let them make the mistakes that we made and let them come up how they come up. Because you know what they're going to be saying 20 years from now? Man, these motherfuckers is chained now, man. These motherfuckers got airplanes and shit with drones and shit. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, man, they ride cars and shit, you know what I'm saying? Mean that you could sit and put your feet in and push a button. You know, shit gonna evolve. You know, shit gonna keep on evolving. You know, I remember, you know, we used to have to go, you know, remember how we used to go to the party, Unique, and go holler at a bitch, go down to the club and shit, and meet a bitch. Now you can meet a bitch right there on your phone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so times just changed, pimping, that's all, you know what I'm saying? And niggas in jail, you know, a nigga, you talk to a nigga that did 10 years in pen, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't do as much as you did, but you get to talk to a nigga that did 10. Man, when I was in the penitentiary, I remember this vividly. All we talk about is what was the last thing that I was doing when I was out. You know, like, we like, yeah, man, we used to wear them dookie ropes. I get out, man, niggas ain't wearing dookie ropes, no more. They wearing herringbones and motherfucking Cuban links and shit. I like these old bust-ass niggas wearing these old cheap-ass Cuban links. But, you know, the motherfuckers before us, you know, the Fluky Stokes, the New York niggas, you know, what's his name, Pee Wee Kirkland, all them niggas, they was wearing 20-karat pinky rings and shit, you know. New York Fresh, all them niggas wearing, you know, motherfucking diamond chain, you know, and they laugh at us when we was wearing ropes. They're like, man, nigga, you better get you a motherfucking solitaire, you better get you. So it's always gonna be some nigga that push the next niggas out the way.
Mm-hmm. All right, see, you said some things. Now we gonna kick it up. OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about OnlyFans. I'll
Okay.
take you someplace that maybe no one took you, and I know you could help the youth understand this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they know how time changed. When I got locked up in 1993, we had phones that had battery packs that's hooked up to a motorcycle, and that was our battery pack to the phone back then. We called them G.I. Joe phones.
G.I.
It
Joe.
had the little spiral cord connected to the headset with the keypad in the back, and it went to the battery pack.
Had about 10 of them.
There you go. Now I come home, they got them in the hand, right? But now, technology done changed where everyone sat still. I sat still while I was in prison, and the world continued to move into the smartphones. So now I get dropped out here 26 years later, like if I was frozen. You understand? Because I never seen a smartphone.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never seen a Facebook, an Instagram. I didn't touch a tree for 22 years before I touched a tree or seen a leaf. You know what I mean? And I went 5 years, 3 years, you know, without being on any grass. You understand? By being just inside a prison, locked in. I did 5 years in ADX. I did 5 years in ADX where I didn't see no grass. But now I come home, they got all this going on, and I see the women is real smart, you know, because the females used to, you know, work for the pimps, right? But now the females are working for themselves with OnlyFans.
Well, you gotta look at it like
and they ain't
this.
got to worry about protection.
Pimp, this shit, you know, as a former pimp, the shit started way before OnlyFans. So really what happened, so around by 91, 92, they came out with this site called Eros. Then they came out with this shit called Backpage. This shit called some other shit, right? And hoes started dropping off on pimps like it wasn't nothing, man. And niggas was like, man, what the fuck is going on? I said, man, listen, man. You putting the bitch up on game. You taking the bitch to the Holiday Inn. You giving the bitch a phone. You know what I'm saying? You connect the bitch phone to Backpage. I'm saying, I mean, you got the bitch booked on Backpage. What you think the bitch gonna do? The minute the bitch get upset, she's not gonna choose another pimp like in the 70s. She gonna go to a motherfucking Days Inn across the street. She gonna put a fake picture up. She gonna crop some pictures, and she gonna act like she the next bitch, and the chick gonna come to the room. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, you know, pimps up, hold down, which I don't. I denounced that shit. I don't like pimps up and down or hoes down no more. I don't like American Pimp. That fucked the game up because now you got a lot of niggas on the internet. They spitting the ism. Why would a bitch pay a nigga for some game when she can go and get the game off the internet? She can listen to Don Juan, Pimping Ken all day on the internet and get some game. So you know what I'm saying? Technology done fucked it up for a lot of niggas. I know niggas that sell dope now on their phones. You understand what I'm saying? They sell dope on their phones, just like Uber and like motherfucking Lyft. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Uber Eats and shit. You know what I'm saying? They delivering the shit straight on a motherfucking scooter and shit like that. That's, of course, fucking up the weed houses. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to order some weed? The motherfucking the people that do food, order food. That's fucking up a lot of businesses. You know what I'm saying? A lot of businesses like, well, we ain't getting traffic no more. And it's fucking up people who get jobs because they ain't going to be there to flip burgers no more. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit, you know, it's going to AI. You ever fuck with the AI?
Oh, hell, tell them if I use my algorithm.
Yeah, so the AI shit, that shit, man, it could write your whole program. It could write your whole book. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so society, technology is moving motherfuckers out the way. The key to the game is to get with these young niggas and follow their program. So it's like when niggas say, man, why did you stop pimping? I said, when they changed their laws, I changed mine. See, when they said human trafficking, I was out of there. Oh, what? Okay, life? All right, see you. Bye, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bye, hoe. Bye, all you motherfuckers. Bye, pimps. I'm out of here. I'm not going to jail for life for no bitch. When the purpose of getting the bitch was because I want to go to life for dope. You understand what I'm saying? So I had an option, right? I could either sold dope, you know what I'm saying, me, and got money and caught the same case everybody else called a conspiracy case or a RICO charge and did 30, 40 years in the pen, or I could have went to the bitch. So when I got to the bitch, and the bitch became, you know, the dope, and I didn't sell crack, I sold crack between the whole back. And now they telling me that this bitch crack between her back is just as much as potent as the crack on the streets and it carries just as much time. Hey man, adios amigos. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of there. You know, and that's how the game goes. You know, you just got to flip and dip. So now I'm in the legitimate shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing money like a 94 going north. I'm saying I'm getting it, right? Catch it, right? I'm busting moves. I'm learning how to leverage my credit. I'm learning how to use other people's money. You know, same game, different name. You know what I'm saying? Me, different player because I can't play the game I used to play.
All right, so tell me where the name Pimping came from.
Man, punk ass HBO.
They
So,
named you Pimping Ken?
man, listen, man, I told them to call me Ken Ivy because, you know, that's what I want to be called. I want to leave a legacy, right? And I looked up on the motherfucking screen and it said Pimping Ken. And what happened was I went to Vegas, and when I went to Vegas, Unique, I got my mink on, and my black mink, and my little Cardis or whatever the fuck them glasses. I was shy as a bitch, had plenty of jewelry on. And everybody like, Pimping Ken, can I take a picture with you? I'm looking at these motherfuckers, who the fuck is y'all? You know, I'm a street nigga. I'm like, man, these niggas better get up off me, right? But I'm a celebrity now. I done did this punk ass movie. Now all these motherfuckers want to take pictures with me and all that shit and everything. E40, like, man, Pimping Ken, I want to pay you to do this. Everybody want to pay me to do that. They want to pay me to do this, want to pay me to do that. So now it's a brand. Now they want to write a book. Pimpology by Pimping Ken. They want to write other books. They want to do movies. So now I got to run with the name. The hardest thing to do is to debrand some shit. Once you squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube, it's hard to put that toothpaste back in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So once I became Pimping Ken, it was hard to not to be Pimping Ken. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on the Unique show because if I said I'm Ken Ivy, like, who the fuck is that? So now I got to be Pimping Ken. And so what I did is I took a negative and turned it to a positive. So now I tell motherfuckers, when you say Pimping Ken, don't put a period, put a comma. Pimping Ken, author. Pimping Ken, philanthropist. Pimping Ken, you know, founder of the Hip-Hop Fraternity. Pimping Ken, you know, man, you know, businesses, and so on and so forth. So put a comma where you should be putting a period. You know.
All right, so tell us what it was like when you pulled your first female.
Well,
How did that play out?
it kind of fell into my hands 'cause like I said, I was robbing banks and jewelry stores. So my partner, what we used to do, we used to rob jewelry stores, you know, JW Jewelry, all the motherfuckers, and take all the ropes and shit. We get all the ropes, we put them on, we go on the track, around the pimps to act like we was pimping, right? You know, 'cause we had money like them niggas. We had Rolexes and shit. We was getting money, and you know, we robbed banks and shit too. So I called a little bit. I come home. My partner, he said, I go over his house. He over there on 14th and Center, and I go over there, and there's 3 pictures at the table. This nigga over there looking like Scarface and shit, shirt off and shit, a bunch of jewelry on, and you know, all kind of shit on the table, money and shit. And I was like, what's happening, man? He said, you ready to go hit a lick? He said, no, man, I'm pimping. It's my nigga JD. I said, you pimping? What the fuck you mean you pimping, nigga? We finna go rob some banks, nigga. I'm home. Let's go get busy. And that nigga like, man, nah. He said, man, all these my bitches. I said, man, can I have one? He said, which one you want? I said, give me the one that's light bright with the pussy candy stripe. That bitch name was Dirty Red. So that bitch started paying my pimping. And then I got with her, and she just paid me profusely and just kept paying me. And, you know, I was learning the game from him. So I hung out with this OG named Star Child. You know, may he rest in peace. He died of COVID about 2 years ago. Star Child, he sit me down in the car, and he started teaching me about the pimping. He said, man, this is how you knock a hoe. So he said, even if you got to knock my bitch, this is how the game goes. So I ended up knocking Star Child for the Bridget bitch. And I had a bunch of jewelry, so he was wearing one of my pieces. And the nigga called the attitude, you know what I'm saying? Because I peeled it for the bitch. I said, yeah, man, I got the Bridget bitch. He said, what? And the nigga was acting very unpimp-like. I was like, man, this nigga tripping, right? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's where I coined the phrase, where pimping begin, friendship ends. But pimping began, friendship ends. So, you know, I just, you know, I realized that I was in a dirty game, you know, and this game was for real. And at that point, you know what I mean, I was still, you know, Corvette, them hoes was like a Cadillac or Yugo to me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm moving fast like a vet, you know what I mean? So I'm still robbing banks and shit. I couldn't get that shit out of my system. So that's really how I got in the game. But what really made me want to come out and do it after I got to jail, my friend Paper Chase, his father, may he rest in peace, both of them dead, and now may they both rest in peace. His father's name was Pimping Poe. So me and Pimping Poe used to be on the yard, and I was a little wild nigga. I was knocking niggas out in the joint, you know what I'm saying? Crazy, you know, it was a crew of us doing some weird shit, you know, extorting them white boys and shit, taking their shit. You know, so we doing all this crazy shit. He said, man, come here and holler at you, whoop the woo, and da-da-da-da. And I said, nigga, if you a big time pimp, why the fuck you in jail, nigga? And he said, man, you know, the nigga Sam, Pimpin' Sam, jumped on my car, and I had to shoot the nigga out. So he shot him off with a 38, paralyzed the nigga, right? With a bitch named Rosie Bowers, you know what I'm saying? Which I had a crush on her as a kid, you know. And I'm like, damn, this nigga had that bitch? I was amazed. Now he got my attention, like, nigga, you turned that bitch out? And I said, man, so what happened? He said, well, Sam, you know, he said, Sam, you know, he got the bitch, he mistaked pimping for love. I said, what you mean by that? He said when the nigga took a shit, the bitch was there to wipe his ass. He said, when the nigga got it out, the bitch was there to fumble 3 times and light the nigga cigarette. He said, when the nigga's stomach ground, the bitch was already cooking food. You know, he said, yeah, man, pimping ain't nothing but instruction. He said, but you gotta go to the doctor, get a triple bypass. You gotta have all the sympathy removed out your heart. You know what I'm saying? He said, he had sympathy for the bitch. He said, I'm pimping. All bitches the same to me. So I got it. It was something that clicked in my head. So when I come home, that's what I'm gonna do. I ain't finna fall in love with no bitch. I ain't finna be a cupcake with her. I ain't finna be holding hands and kicking can. And then I got in the game when I came home. And because of that little information he gave me, I went to the top. I became the #1 in the country. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all niggas was respecting me. New York. I remember I came out here to New York, and them niggas, you know, they knocked me. So the first time I get a nigga named L.A.J., he was right here from Jersey, where we at now. So he peeled me for a bitch. I had the bitch down on 11th Avenue. I was staying on 42nd and 8th Avenue at the Carter Hotel. I don't know if it's still there, but I was staying there, and the nigga called the room. I said, hey, hello? He said, yeah, man, it's from New York pimping, man. This Jay, man, got the bitch. I said, what bitch, nigga? I had 2 hoes with me, right? He said, yeah, the Keisha bitch. I said, ain't this a bitch? I said, told her this. Fronted me out. She didn't embarrass me in New York, right? I'm mad, the motherfucker, right? And so this other nigga, he ride me around. He from Jamaica, one of your homeboys, a Jamaican nigga. You know, he ride me around. Yo, son, man, come on, man. You know, it's pimping, man. You know, Jamaican shit. And I'm like, yeah, what up, Lucky? I said, yeah, but he tried to knock my bitch all the time. He got his white bitch with my bitch. So these niggas steady mixing on me, right? They try to mix. Now I'm a player though. You know what I'm saying? Remember this? I'm a cold nigga, but I don't know the rules. So once I learned the rules, I came back. And every time I would knock a nigga from New York, I go get a Wall Street Journal. I put a banana in the motherfucking Wall Street Journal. I said, niggas in the news, you been peeled for the bitch, nigga. Read the news. And them niggas like, this nigga crazy. Then I knock them and I put ketchup bottles by their car, by each one of their wheels and say, yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying, nigga, my game is thick as high. You'll never be thick as mine. Nigga, you in the mustard, you need to catch up. You understand me? So the niggas like, oh, this nigga crazy. So I'm doing all this crazy shit and really just mashing, and I'll be riding down. I'll be on in Manhattan, and I see one of them niggas holding. I open my Cadillac door up, and I ride real slow, about 4 or 5 miles. I say, bitch, the door's opportunities open, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bitch, get where you fit in. I know you tired of making them say fuck with Frosted Flakes. And so them niggas, they used to New York, they was like, man, that nigga cold, he cold. I like that nigga. So all them niggas started hanging out with me. We started going to Philly together, started DC together. I was like a little leader of the pack, you know, niggas, you know, they never seen a nigga that spit the ism like me. So I was knocking so many niggas from New York, even the biggest niggas' name. I ain't gonna say their name because they're my partners. And I knocked them for a couple bitches and shit. And then, you know, it just, New York niggas just started embracing me. Then DC niggas, Detroit, California, niggas all over the world started embracing me. Now I'm full-fledged in the game. You know, you can't tell me nothing. I mean, so what happened, the conclusion of that was Don Juan had a party in Chicago, and they invited me to the party. So I'm at this place, I'm buying these Murrays, they're $1,000 a pair. So I'm buying like 8 pair. And nigga, Rebel Simo like, man, say, man, you a real player. You know them Chicago niggas talking slick. I said, yeah, nigga, believe it, nigga, for sure, nigga, what's up? He said, yeah, man, we got a players ball, Don Juan, Ice-T, all of them gonna be there. I said, yeah, really? I said, man, I want to come to that. You know, so I went to the ball, had about 7 bitches with me, black and white mink. That's the first time niggas seen the two-tone black and white mink, you know, jeweled up. And them niggas was like, yeah, man, we want to honor you. You know what I'm saying? They started honoring me Pimp of the Year. And then the next year, they had HBO there. And that's when I got introduced to Pimps Up, Hoes Down. And at that point, you know what I'm saying, once I did that shit, I feel that I fucked up, you know. You know, you being a hustler, Unique, you know, once you put your name on the TV, you feel like, man, I just exposed myself, right? Almost like telling yourself type shit, right? Like I'm telling motherfuckers I'm the biggest pimp in the country. I got all these hoes bound down, saying all kind of crazy shit on camera. And I'm not thinking at the time because it's Don Juan now. You know what I'm saying? It's the biggest pimps in the country at the time. But when that shit showed up on TV, I just kind of like, man, felt like, man, I got to get away from this shit. But while they were shooting, fortunately for me, I was also shooting my movie, Pimpology, which is the one that's on my, they can watch it for free on Pimping podcast. It's called Pimpology. So I was shooting that movie, and I ended up making millions of dollars, and that's what took me out the game. I know that was kind of a long answer, right?
No, that was excellent answer. That's what I'm talking about. We ride. That's what gangsters do. You know, we ride. You know how you ride down the street, you might play a little Mary, you know, a little Nita Baker, you know what I mean? A little Kevin Wilson.
Yeah.
You know,
Frankie
you ride.
Beverly, yeah.
You know, so
my
take
shit.
your time, and this is how we do it. If these rat bastards don't like it, they go to no channel. Like I said, it's for gangsters. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a crap about it. But now, where I'm at is, you said some things that I was taught from back then, as far as I think these youngins don't understand, meaning that, you know, you might not respect the player, but you respect the game. Meaning when a nigga snatch a bitch. So they understand.
Man, listen, man.
Break that down.
You know, getting knocked for a bitch to me is like a nigga nut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love when they give me, every time they give me for a bitch, I look in the mirror, I say, I'm a pimp. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this nigga called me, he told me he got my bitch, you know what I'm saying? So now I got action at his hoe, right? So if a nigga gonna sweat one, he gotta sweat one. So every time a nigga knocked me, it was a pact that me and this nigga, I said, nigga, I met you in blood, nigga, I'm finna sweat you, nigga, you know, until you can't get sweated no more. So I'm at all his hoes. I'm riding down the blade. I'm popping at the bitches, right? Every day, popping at his hoes, getting at the bitches. So nigga like, damn, man, this nigga Ken, he go hard. Yeah, nigga, I'm determined like a German to knock that hoe. You know what I mean? Nigga, you got me for a bitch, nigga. It's all, well, it's wartime, nigga. It's World War III around this bitch, you know what I'm saying, on the P. And I'm the 2-3 of the P. I'm Mac and Jordan. So it's all fair with me, right? So, you know what I mean? You know, after a while, you know, after a while, you know, it becomes a sport. You know, it's like basketball. It's like anything else, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I kind of got cool with that. And, you know, yeah, niggas would knock me, but I would knock niggas too. But, you know, that's a part of the game. For the young niggas out there, Nigga, if you get knocked for a bitch, man, hey man, listen, man, every time you lose one hoe, you gonna gain 2 more. Hey man, one hoe is too close to no hoe, and a broke hoe is a motherfucking no-no. So you understand me? Don't sweat the bitch, man. Let the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Me, if the bitch want to choose, the bitch done left in her mind before she leave physically. Hoes leave here mentally before they leave physically. So you expect that if a hoe left you, she already had left months ago. You know what I'm saying? She's just waiting on a motherfucking nigga like Unique or nigga like Pimping that she can choose up on that she feel that's gonna stand up to your simping. You know what I mean? Or your mispimping. You know what I mean? Because you know that's how hoes do. You know what I'm saying? Hoes choose wisely. Sometimes hoes choose up. Sometimes they let Pimpin' Ken be the choice, you know what I'm saying, which is motherfucking Rolls Royce, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying, depending on the pimp, depending on the circumstances, what the bitch gonna do. But I know any bitch that fuck with me, she's gonna always choose up because, you know what I'm saying, nigga, I'm bringing my A game. Because if you bring a B game, that means you let room for a A plus or A game to take you out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always bringing my A game, and you know, I mean, I love the game, man. You know, when a nigga, you know, get me for a bitch, you know what I'm saying, I celebrate, man.
Yeah. Now I hear you. I just wanted to bring that out just so that they understand.
Yes, sir.
As far as that, you know, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. You know, when you know your bitch get picked. You know what I mean? You done lost one.
That's the game. That lets you know you're in the game. That's just like if you playing basketball, if somebody don't block your shot, you ain't no basketball player. If somebody don't peel you for the ball, you ain't no motherfucking basketball player. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't strike out, you ain't no player. So you understand, if you don't get knocked for a bitch, you ain't no player. If you don't knock another nigga for a bitch, you ain't no player. So that's the sport that we in. You know, so I love it. I love when, you know, then, you know, bitches belong to the community. Any real pimp know these hoes ain't your hoes. These hoes belong to the community. The bitch left her mama, she'll leave you. And see, the book on what a bitch gonna do haven't been written yet.
But see, that's exactly where I'm at. That nowadays they killing over they girl leaving them for somebody else.
That's simping. See, that's simping. That's a simp. See, Miss Pimpin' ain't no pimping at all, right? Pimping is a non-contact sport. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's no touchy feely. The reason why it's a non-contact sport because it's a mind game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you knock the mind, the body will follow. You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of pimps don't even got to put their hands on hoes because they got the bitch right here. You know, if the bitch is here, if you got the bitch here, then you already winning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, a bitch will jump in front of a car if you got a mind. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and a lot of niggas that ain't pimps, they be having hoes minds too. How many bitches you know that live in these projects up here in New York that you understand be holding keys? How many hoes didn't hold keys for you? How many hoes that didn't tuck trips for you and you didn't get the hoes a dime? You know, tuck, maybe give them a Happy Meal at McDonald's. But the bitch, you had the bitch mind. You know what I'm saying? She was impressed with your gangster. She was impressed with your hustle. She wanted to be next to Unique. She wanted to be next to that nigga that everybody talking about in the street. But the same thing with pimping. The nigga that's winning, the nigga that's having the minks and the diamonds, riding the fly cars and shit, that hoe want to be next to him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if a nigga get that whole mind, you know what I'm saying? I mean, with the moves that he made, then, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he ain't got to worry about that. And then if the bitch leave and, you know, you put your hands on, you got to first of all think you're not pimping no more. The minute you put your hands on a hoe, now that's domestic violence, right? The minute you shoot a nigga over a bitch, that's now attempted murder, right? You're taking the element and the fun out of the game. You know what I'm saying? The game is, you know, it's a non-contact sport. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to respect other games. Every game pay another game. The first thing I learned when I first, you know, got in the game at a very young age, probably as early as maybe 5 or 10. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell them, I've been hustling all my life. You know what I'm saying? When I got in the game, I said, I learned that one game pay another game. The drug dealer get robbed by the gangsters. The gangsters go spend his money at the strip club. The strippers get their money to a pimp. You know what I'm saying? The pimp go buy cocaine from the drug dealer so he can get high and sniff. You know, the cocaine dealer might need some weed, you know what I'm saying? You know, while he hustling up all night to keep him, you know, mellow. He getting the mellow, you know, he gets some weed. You know what I'm saying? So one game always pay another game. So you understand me? You know, expect to get shot, expect to get robbed, you know, expect to get killed, expect for shit to happen in the game if you're in this game. But don't sign up for it.
See, and that's what I'm saying, you know. So now, the game is to be sold, not told. Break that down so they understand. So let me say this, right?
Yeah, I can break it down right here. I got something for sale right now.
Explain to them where that saying come from.
Well, the game is to be sold, not told, because, like, I'll give you an example. My OG told me, right? When I was shooting bad dice, right? My OG always said, Ken, don't give these niggas the game. And I never understood what he said. And you know, you give a nigga the game, and it'd be a nigga that you thought that was cool, and that nigga, what he'll do is he'll go and tell the next nigga, you know what I'm saying, and snitch on you. You see what I'm saying? Or he'll go and teach another nigga that don't really deserve the game, and they pass it on and on. But when a nigga pay for the game, if a nigga pay for this pimping, nigga pay for that drug game, he gonna be little bit more reluctant to give it away because he paid for it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna just give a motherfucker this pimping. I sell you some pimping for $19.99. Cause you understand, nigga, I had to go through a bunch of shit. I've been shot, man, 5 times. I done been through all kind of shit about this pimping, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm selling the game. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 books. You know what I'm saying? I sell it every day. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, if I'm on a podcast and I'm giving up some game, I got to give up enough game to get motherfuckers interested to go buy the game. You know, that's the only time I'll give some game if I'm trying to get a nigga's attention. Say, look, man, check this out. You heard what I said on the Unique show, but if you really want to get the game, go get this Pimpology, the 48 laws of game. I only gave you 2 laws of game on the Unique show. You get another 30, but 46 laws left. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's gonna lace you up like Timberland. And when they buy it, like you said, niggas in the penitentiary, they walk around with my book, they cherishing that motherfucker. They hiding it up under their pillows and shit. Yeah. They putting fake covers on it. Niggas done told me they did all kind of shit with my book in the joint. You know what I'm saying? Because they paid for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but if everybody was walking around there and they was just talking about it and giving it away for free, it wouldn't be appreciated. That's why you sell it, so it can be appreciated.
They don't even loan out your book, to do they trying to get that game up, like you said. You just clarified it. You know, they paid for it.
Yeah, they paid for it.
You know, let me see that $3. You be like, nah, dog. You know what I mean? Here go the application, go get me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want
You know, one time that they let me put the my book in that little little ordering form.
Mm-hmm.
And I was selling so many books, man, that the feds banned me out that motherfucker. I'm like, man, why the fuck would they stop a man that's formerly incarcerated person who did time in the penitentiary, who changed his life around doing something constructive now? Now they want to ban my book out the joint. I can never understand that.
Yeah, you know, everybody went, they had it, man.
Yeah.
But let me give you a scenario, man. You out there, you got 2 bad chicks with you, you the man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got 2 bad chicks with you, you know, they boss bitches. You know, they shutting the joint down. But now, you know, here comes another pimp. He see you with them and he want one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he send the female at the female. Because you already know how it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Send the female at the female. You know, let him know how that play out.
Well, you know, the thing about that is that my bitch gonna be his bitch to the punch. My bitch gonna be at my bitch automatic. You know what I'm saying? That's like an automatic pistol, right? My bitch on automatic. She automatic know to get at the baddest bitch in the club. You know what I used to do, man, and go back to New York. I did this to a lot of one of my New York pimps. I used to send my bitch on the blade, right? And I just tell my bitch, say, you ain't got no folks. Folks mean pimp. You know what I'm saying? She said, I ain't got no folks, and she'd be up under these bitches. And these bitches be having pimps and shit. And my bitch would be like, yeah, you know, can I use your phone? And the bitch would, green bitches would let my bitch use the phone, just like this phone here. And my bitch would call me from this bitch phone, which is out of pocket, right? So the bitch is out of pocket because she don't supposed to be talking to another pimp. But she ain't talking to another pimp, but my bitch is making it seem like she talking to another pimp. So my bitch is calling me. And we talking, then she hang up, she called me, then my bitch flipped the script. And the niggas ain't ready for this level game. I'm finna blow niggas' mind with this shit. My bitch would say, if you don't choose up, my daddy said, your nigga gonna get you abused up. My daddy just said that if you don't fuck with, if you don't choose his pimping tonight, he's gonna call your pimp and let your pimp know that you've been on the phone with him. You can't deny it, bitch. Come on home, bitch. Come with some real pimping. Oh, you know, choose up on Pimping Ken tonight. Niggas out of knock with that game. You know what I'm saying? And then another game, I get my white boy Mickey. He's actually Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? He's from my neighborhood. We'll bring him to D.C., New York. You know what I'm saying? Give him $100. Say, man, go pick up one of them hoes. He pick up a bitch like he a trick. Ride off on the blade with the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Take the bitch to an exclusive area. You know what I'm saying? I know where he at. The bitch don't know where she at. The bitch in the car, bitch out of pocket. He tell her, bitch, I don't want no pussy from you. I'm not no fucking trick. Get the fuck out my car. I ease up. bitch in a dark area, she scared to death. Hey, excuse me, man, you need a ride? Yeah, I need a ride. Do, blah, blah, blah. I get to interview the bitch. I said, yeah, bitch, you know I'm a pimp, right? You know he's got a pimp car, right? What you mean? Yeah, bitch, I know you're a pimp, Teddy, bitch. I'm finna call that nigga and let him know, bitch, you out of pocket, bitch. He said, well, I ain't out of pocket. I said, yeah, bitch, you see this phone, bitch? I've been recording you, ho. I said, yeah, bitch. I said, yeah, bitch, you out of pocket, ho. Choose up and get bruised up. You know, I was the master of knocking niggas bitches. That's all I did. You know, I got a nigga for 8 bitches in Indiana through this bitch named Sensation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, she was working at this one club. I can't remember. It's been so many years ago. But I took my bitch on her. She came. When she came, all the rest of the niggas always came. When I served the nigga, I served him for 8 bitches. I said, yeah, nigga, I got your bottom and your top, nigga. You know what I'm saying, nigga? I said, yeah, nigga. I said, nigga, happy pimping. I said, matter of fact, nigga, I'm going to send 2 bottles of Moet so you keep your motherfucking throat wet, nigga. I know you're going to be dry after this pimping, man. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of, that's why I was pimp of the year. You know, I'm my theatrics, you know, my knock game was superb, you know. So a nigga, you know, like I said, the first experience that I had, because, you know, Milwaukee niggas didn't disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, niggas know, you know, they know. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, that was no problem. But when I stepped across that Milwaukee line, that state line, I had to become a giant. You know, because now I got New York niggas, you know, the Jamaican nigga Lucky trying to play me. The nigga Jaden got me for a bitch. These niggas riding around acting like they cool, but these niggas, they don't know. They was in my element. You know, y'all want to get down and dirty? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the game we in. It's a dirty game. You know, hoes bring home other hoes. I used to ride pimps around young niggas, and I'd be riding with them niggas. I'd be like, yeah, man, you know, you put your bitch here, you put your bitch there. You know, and all the places I'm telling to put the bitch is not a place to put the bitch. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to economically distress this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure he don't get no money. You understand me? And that his hoes will be discouraged. Then I send my hoes out there in motherfucking Jimmy Choo's or Gucci or something like that, you know, with their best clothes, you know, saying, look, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Me, that's my daddy right there. You know, see that new Benz? That's ours. You know what I'm saying, bitch? Plus we got our own car. We riding the motherfucking other Benz. We got the convertible. You know, and that's how you got to do it. You know, that's part of the game of knocking niggas for their hoes. You got to be able to, you know, especially if it's a bad bitch, you got to give that bitch a polar opposite, something for the bitch to look at to say, damn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this program is better than mine. I'd rather fuck with Ken than to fuck with this nigga. You know, and I knocked a lot of niggas like that, you know what I mean? By just, you know, playing the game. But you know, the niggas that I get, I come back and I bless them. I throw them a little jug, and then I, you know, like, look, man, you know, you paid in blood for this game. Come here, let me show you something. Here goes some game, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Never let another nigga tell you where to put your bitch down. Never work your bitch with another pimp. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nigga, never let your hoe talk to another hoe. That's called socializing. Ain't no socializing in this pimping. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bitch, you know what I'm saying? You need to talk to a bitch. It's got to be a wife-in-law. It's got to be a bitch that's down with our team, hoe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's how you got to raise and teach them, hoe. And that's how my hoes were so powerful. And that's why I had hoes 8-9 years. Because a lot of niggas just send bitches out the door, but they don't give bitches no game. You understand what I'm saying? So you send a bitch, hey, bitch, go give me some money. That's all you tell her. Hey, man, that bitch gonna run into me. She gonna run into a bunch of whole motherfucking super duper, you know, stomp down, hope to die peas. You know what I'm saying? She gonna run to some fast go hoes, and everybody gonna be at that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, from that perspective, you know, I tell niggas, yeah, man, you know, you just can't, you gotta lace your hoe up, man, like some Timberlands, man, 'cause you can't send that bitch out there, you know, with no instruction, because no instructions bring about self-destruction.
And I like the way you broke it down, how they gave you that name that you took. You know, them thinking they was slick and turned that into a positive. That was player.
Yeah, you got it too, man. You know, I mean, see, the roads that you take to get to your destiny is not the ones gonna get you there. It's gonna be your detours. You know, I mean, when we was shooting that movie, I was a full-fledged, stumped down, hope to die Mac off a house 197 Hunchback, stumped down. You know what I mean? Man, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. I had zero understanding about the bullshit, man. It was straight pimping, right? But you know, nobody could have told me that I would become a filmmaker, or I would become, you know, ingrained into the hip hop community and help the organization Hip-Hop Fraternity. So a lot of times, you know, you think See, the steps of a good man are ordered by God. But you think sometimes God will hurt you to help you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you think that God is hurting you, He's really helping you. And that's really what happened with me. I thought that, this was a bad thing, but it turned out to be a good thing, even especially in 2024. More people are receptive to it than they was, back in the day when they was talking about human trafficking and all that stuff, Now people, Charlemagne, on the Breakfast Club, we seen him, he said, man, we got to have Pimping on the Breakfast Club. He said, we got to have Pimping. It's a done deal. And I'm here now in New York, after your show, I'll be going there, so we know that wasn't in my that wasn't in my forecast, that was none that I prognosticated, that was none that I predicted, but it happened. So, looking back, almost 30 years later, hey man, I'm glad they call me Pimping.
And you represented well, because I mean, dudes don't understand pimp scene at all. You know what I mean? Pimp scene at all. Because then the after hours, back alleys, back skeezy, back everything, you know what I mean?
Man, we did everything.
And that's why we have to listen to our elders and don't judge our elders. You know what I mean? Just like they judge me, they judge you, they judge, you know what I mean? Because we're different, we're from a different time and they elevated, you know what I mean, or evolved into something else.
Right.
And they forget where they came from. Then when they look around and look at the pictures, they see that we all still dressed the same.
Well, a lot of niggas told me, they said, you can't educate, you can't teach the young motherfuckers it's rap.com. But that's all we've been doing for the last 4 years, bringing the young people under the auspices of the Hip-Hop Fraternity, giving them a lot of game, bringing the games and the different outfits and, different sets together. And, let them know, man, it's all love, peace, and respect, and that it's our culture, our call. So that's what we're doing now is, we're taking all of the things, that they said we can't do, and we're defying law. We're defying gravity, and we're making shit happen. We're bringing a lot of young people under the fold. We got DJ 16 over there, a young player, out of Milwaukee, man. He's the head of DJs. He run the HHF radio. We're giving brothers jobs. We got Mike Fresh, who got 20 billion streams, who came over to the organization. And now he's a valuable asset to the company. James C.B. Gray, one of your fellow New Yorkers, great brother, came in, and helped build the organization and brought the White House involved. We just sent King Moore over to the White House. Now we want people to invest in the Hip-Hop Fraternity. You gotta have $250,000 or better to invest, but we're looking for investors. We're looking for people who believe in our youth, who believe in our community, who remember the Black Panthers, who remember SNCC and the Civil Rights Movement. Hip-Hop Fraternity is the new movement for our people. It's a new black think tank. Everything they're doing over at Action Network, the Nation of Islam, we're doing here at the Hip-Hop Fraternity. We're just doing it under the auspices and the love of hip-hop, because we know that hip-hop has created 5 billionaires. 5 billionaires. There's nothing in the ecosystem have done anything like that for African Americans. Also, an untold amount of millionaires. It's also the second largest export in terms of American exports. It's also the #1 genre of music in the world. So, when you think about hip-hop, you think about the 50th anniversary, 50 years of existence. You got to think about it like I always say, my Mexican brothers got tacos, my Asian brothers got egg rolls, my Italian brothers got SpaghettiOs, African Americans, we got hip-hop. This is our culture. This is something that we created that we can hold dear to our chest and say, hey man, look, this is something that we put together, and the only way we're going to win if we come together under unity. We got to have unity. We try everything but unity. Until we start unifying and realizing that when you got one stick, you can break it readily. But if you got 30 sticks, it's hard to break 30 sticks. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring brothers together from every barrel, every state, every city, every nation, every whatever. We just need to get them together, and that's what the Hip-Hop Fraternity is all about. So, yeah, the young people are a little rebellious. They are a little hard-headed. But, with the proper guidance, you was there last night at the Shock Bar with Brother James C.B. Gray and Sister Kentria, and you seen how all them young people was in there, and the older people was in there was coexisting, and they was rapping, and them OGs was really popping that music, man. I was so it made me feel like New York back in the day. You know what I mean? They was kicking that knowledge, that wisdom, and understanding. And that's what it's all about, brother. You as a 7%er, a 5%er, you know what I mean? You understand, you know, knowledge born. You know what I'm saying? You understand, you know, the supreme mathematics. You're a genius, right? You know, you're a god. So, you know, that's what we have to do, man. We got to reach out to these young brothers out here. And, you know, me being a Moorish American under the teachers down in Nova Drew Ali, you know, I have special skills that I was learned, you know, while I was in that organization. I just want to bring those skills over into the fold of, you know, building communities and building our people.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whiny. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.